is it worth pulling for FC Iris? To me, at least, when I first heard about her passive, I'd be like, wow, this is it. This is gonna bring out a new meta, complete new meta, or not rather a meta, rather not a new meta, rather bring back the old meta, which was the AoE meta. And I think it is doing what it should be doing exactly. Let me tell you a brief history of Exos Heroes PvP meta wise. From week 1 of Exos Heroes launch, FC regular bot 3 was #1 meta no matter what. Having that huge AoE damage burst, nothing could compete with that. And the meta continued. New characters appear. FC Gar appear. FC Rachel appear. FC Ulum appear. Doesn't really matter. Bot 3 was always on meta, and until FC Shufraken appeared. What FC Shufraken does is, doesn't matter if you have Tranquil or not, you are dead. If you have low HP, you're dead. But not only you are dead, your whole teammate, the one in the same row, are gonna get damaged. So it was a huge counter to bot 3, and bot 3 slightly fell off meta. Because having Tranquil was just as useless as any other passive. And Shufraken became like this one god that just destroys everything. That's why FC Reigned, not the dragon one, before that the regular black one, paired up with Shufraken, became a huge strong meta. And then that only lasted like under a month, because not only after that, we had Xeon, FC Xeon coming up. And the moment FC Xeon came out, Xeon loved on taking damage. The more Xeon takes damage, the more he gets shield up, the more he gets the wrath damage up. So Shufraken, although we plan on not attacking Xeon, Shufraken always attacked all enemies on the back row, including Xeon. That's why Shufraken just got completely destroyed or got eaten by Dragon FC. And I thought that was the end. Shufraken will never have his moment again. But with FC Iris, who can nerf the defense by almost 0, because FC Iris goes by the HP percentile. I'll get onto more details on her skill, but this is still the story mode, history mode. But with FC Iris, you actually want to attack Dragon FC with your Shufraken. So I think FC Shufraken will come back to meta. Not sure if regular Shufraken can do just as same as FC Shufraken can do. Right now, I'm just thinking FC Shufraken only. So if you do have both, please test it out. I don't have FC Shufraken, so I can't test it out, unfortunately. And the one account that I have FC Shufraken, I don't have FC Iris, so I can't test it out neither. So if you can, please test these two pairs together. Let me know. It's gonna destroy Dragon FC, in my opinion. All right. So enough with the history. Let's go with the review. Why is FC Iris so good? First, let me go by the skill first. It only requires 1 mana. Only 1 mana, and what it does, it gives 2 mana to your whole team. Like, Iris was one of the mana regenerator, along with Pan, along with Matron, along with Shell. But now Iris is the only mana regenerator who is the OPst of all, giving 2 mana, and it only costs Iris 1 mana. And Iris will almost always have 1 mana, because her light passive allows her to get 1 mana, permanent mana, when all of her teammates is alive, which is almost likely possible on round 1. So it's a really good skill to have. And second, let's check this out. Deals 525. Look at the percentile. Although Iris in general have low attack. Look at it, it's a 1405. Let me compare with some others. Let's see. Maybe the one without weapon, huh? How about Fernando? Look at Fernando, okay? Oh, never mind. So she does have more than Fernando. But my point is, she doesn't have high attack. Meaning she will not be able to deliver damage on a killing blow basically with that skill, unless you crit. But I don't think you have a crit chance, a high crit chance neither at all. Of course, my gears are not really good, but so like consider the damage as in more of a debuff, and I call it debuff because of her passive. I'll go into that right now. So it's not really a killing blow in my opinion. It's just a good damage to be there, and maybe with +5 element enhancement, you can destroy all of the light color. But because it's only single target, I don't really know if it's worth it to make her +5 element enhancement. Her passive is the one that's crazy. Flip flop, every Summerfest guy have it, so we'll just have a skip on it. Basically, now whenever Iris has a removable buff, she will change those into modification, which is the duck that you guys have been seeing on PvP or on daily tournament, or like whenever you fight versus Summer FCs. And of course, Summer's Blessing is applied on her as well, which is the thing that gives her immune, or whole team immune to the frost damage once. And that's the one that will give her the removable buff, the one that 50% attack bonus. So that's why she will almost always have that active to make the enemy the duck whenever she attacks. And Wet Fog is a real big one. Removes all barriers the enemy has when the enemy uses barrier once per round. I know it's only once per round, but look at the turn it lasts. It lasts 9 turns. And technically, you can only have up to 10 turns because there are only 10 heroes of the total when you fight. So 9 out of 10 turn is basically a whole round. And it's not like Iris goes first. Iris in general have low attack speed, meaning Iris will either go like 3rd, 4th, 5th, or even 6th. Meaning it will actually continue to move on to the next round and then still being applied on that round, and then refreshes on her turn again. So it's actually a really great that she doesn't have a high attack speed. Wait, where did it go? So not only that, look at the and it's a mark. When you see mark, you can there's only one other hero that I can think of who has mark, which is FC Rera, the one that gives debuff on the accuracy. Remember how we had fun on Hunting Dragon Phase 3? And mark is not a debuff. Mark is just a mark, meaning that's not a removable buff. You cannot remove that. All right. So mark will stay there. And it's 20 percentile of the maximum HP of Iris. Not defense, but maximum HP. And right now, your Iris can usually have around 8k damage. I mean 8k HP, depending on how far you have raised her. But let's say I even seen a 10k HP Iris. Let's just assume 10k for the easier math. That means 20% of 10k, which is 2k. You reduce 2k defense off of the enemy right away. Of course, that's when it's 10k HP. If you call it like 8k, it's a little bit less than that. Let's just say 1.5k defense removed. Among the Dragon FC, who do you think have more than 1.5k defense? Anastasia barely overs it. Zeon is the only one who can do that because Zeon is a warrior, and every warrior class usually has one of the highest defense rates in comparison to other class. Rera being the ranger, so Rera doesn't really have high defense neither. Same goes for the wizard. Wizards generally do not have much defense up. So it actually can tear down the defense by too much that the shield that you provide with Dragon Blood, it's literally nothing. You can literally ignore that. That's why Iris is gonna be a huge counter to Dragon FC. Not only that, she doesn't only remove the one who's Dragon FC, she removes on everyone. So like regular casual bot 3 will not have her defense neither. Casual Garth will lose defense as well. So it just works in a way where like AoE will deal a ton of damage due to the lack of the defense. That's why actually using FC Garf or using Garf and Rodley combo together may backfire you versus Iris. You know how Rodley gives you shield only when she's under command. I'll show you here. Only when he's under command, the Vanguard gets active, and Vanguard gives a barrier of maximum health to self and other ally. So you get a barrier, meaning Iris is gonna destroy that barrier, meaning you will cause to have your defense rate to be decreased. So it's not wise to use Rodley plus Garf combo anymore. Maybe one Rodley is fine, maybe one Garf is fine, but don't use them together versus Iris. And of course, your call if you want to still use a Dragon FC. But a lot of the rankers in Korean server has been taking the Dragon FCs away from their team. That way they will not get their defense gets reduced. And the one that gets defense reduced is it works very well with Shifraken, because guess what? The Fear of Abyss. Where's my Shifraken at? Where's my Shifraken at? Hold on, let me find it. Dark faded. There you go. The Fear of Abyss. It works only to the ones who have look at that. Marks to enemies with defense lower than you. Right now, the enemy defense may be higher than 1k. Of course, they're higher than 1k because I really have no items on a Shifraken. But once Iris debuff works on them, their defense gets so reduced that they will not have higher defense rate than Shifraken. This is why Shifraken will able to use Fear of Abyss onto all the enemy, and whenever the enemy is under Fear of Abyss, they take damage when the HP goes 10% lower, or 10% or lower. And it's just gonna be in my theory, Shifraken Iris is an OP combo. I can't guarantee that because I cannot show it to you guys because I don't have FC Shifraken. So please, if you can, try that out. Let me know. I think it's gonna be one of the most OP combo because Shifraken was really strong. Not even joking. Shifraken was really destroying everything and everyone until Dragon FC came out. But if the shield is gonna be irrelevant, it's time to use Shifraken again. Yeah, for him, good. Let me know how you use it. So that was a review. Guardian Stone wise, I recommend machinery in general, but it doesn't really matter because you will actually may have to force to use two of the different color or even 3 of the different color, just so that you can avoid being broken by one shot of hero element enhancement. Like right now, I have 6 frost. This can backfire me if I see an enemy with +5 bot 3 on this one. Like there are ways that Guardian Stone may not be as good as just having a monocolor anymore. So I think that's why it's wise to use variety different colors. Like look at my of course, I didn't intend to have these, but like we have to be creative and then find a way to just not get broken by enemy. So what I'm thinking is I'm actually thinking of using 4 machinery. Having 4 machinery will have me one status resistant per round. Every round it gets refreshed. If I have 2, only 1 status resistant per battle. So it's not as useful as it was. But if it's 4, you will keep having that resistance every turn. And not only that, because you have 4, you have 2 left, right? So go for like a light and dark, or go for whichever color you want that you think is least destroyed. Right now, Frost is out of it because of the bot 3. Nature is off of it because of Rera, and Rera is really easy to make +5. Fire is off of it because there's so many good fire bursts, all target damage, on hero pool. Machinery, I'm already using machinery, so it's out of the issue. So we're left with light and dark. If you use 2 light, it could backfire you because there can be Garf, there can be Iris or something. If you use 2 dark, maybe 2 dark is a thing, but I'd rather just go for 4 machinery, 1 light and 1 dark. I think that's gonna be a huge thing, in my opinion. Not sure if that meta will be actually effective, but any Guardian Stone from now on until I change my mind, it's always gonna be 4 machinery, 1 light, and 1 dark on all of the heroes that you can find or that you can get. Okay, so I guess that's it for the review. Cover the passives, cover the skills, cover the Guardian Stone recommendations, and cover the best possible pairs. Also, if you don't have Shifraken, don't worry about it. You can go for right now. You can go for Annie, Rera, Battery combo with Iris and Anastasia. So how it works is on round 1, you proc that defense nerf onto the enemy. So when round 2 starts, your Rera is ready with Annie's passive with the crit, and your Rera is full HP, full mana, and your Rera has Tranquil, which will allow you to deal more damage onto the enemy. On top of it, enemy already has low defense rate, so your Rera can actually deliver a ton of damage with that. So that's what I think is gonna be a meta for a little bit of now until someone find the usage for the Shufraken. Okay. Does Lightstone trigger FC Iris Wet Fog? Lightstone trigger FC Iris Wet Fog. What do you mean? Let me see. Oh, that's a really good question. It should. It says all barriers, and light just provides barrier. Oops. So light provides barrier, so it should be. It's a barrier, and it says web fog is applied whenever they see all barrier, so it should proc it. But for I have not tested it yet. I cannot say for sure. But according to what it says, it should. That's a really good question. Thank you, Pharos. Thank you. It should be since it's a barrier. Lightstone may save your DP barrier. No. Oh yes, but your DP barrier is applied with already reduced amount of defense. So your barrier is still gonna be useless. So yes. I think I covered everything. So I will come back to you with the director's note on the full reviews on the director's note.